Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've got another piercing video for you. Today we're going, or at least I'm going to try to stretch to 10 millimeters, which is I think 0 gauge in America. So yeah, I'm actually at 8 millimeters now. I know my last video was 7 millimeters and that went really smoothly. 8 millimeters went a little bit more difficult, but I figured, you know, I expect 10 millimeters to go about the same way as the 8 millimeters did. So I didn't want to film both because then you would end up, you know, seeing two videos that are pretty much the same except for the actual end size. But the entire process would just be the same and the information would be the same. So it seemed a bit redundant and a bit repetitive to me for you guys. So I decided to just go for the 10 millimeters, which is supposed to be my end size. So let's get on to it. First off, I'll just start with some information. I'll just try to keep it short because, again, repetitiveness between the videos and all. But for a start, you're going to need, for stretching, you're going to need a stretching pin. This one is obviously a larger size. At the smaller sizes, it's going to end in a point, but you just shove the screw there carefully and then it's stretched. Might take some time. Also, they're really heavy, so you don't want to keep this in as jewelry because that's just not going to work very well. So you also want something to put in the piercing after you've stretched this. For which I'm going to use tunnels. These are single flare tunnels, so one side flares out and the other one has this black thing on it, which is an O-ring, which is basically a form of elastic. That just keeps it in place, so obviously the flared out part is supposed to be on the outside, and then on the back side you have the little elastic, but you're not really gonna see that. These are the same, but these are in silver. Because this is going to be my end size, I decided to buy these new tunnels in gold coating because I find it prettier. Slightly more expensive, so I didn't want to do that for every step on the way. But yeah, of course you can also use tunnels that are no flared with like an O-ring on the outside too, or tunnels that you have to screw apart on, like just use whatever you want. One thing is, I would recommend using metal. Because I've heard that wooden jewelry can actually suck itself against the inside of a fresh stretch and get stuck, which sounds very unpleasant and I don't want to risk it. Other than that, obviously during stretching, keep in mind, you're going to feel it stretching, so you're going to feel some pressure, but it should never hurt because you don't want to risk your earlobes actually tearing, because that would probably be just as unpleasant as it sounds. So, you know, like it's never supposed to actually hurt. So yeah, with all that info out of the way, let's remove the old jewelry and get started. Okay, so that's out, so I'm just going to carefully see how far I can get the stretching pin through it. I already dipped it in my coconut oil, so it's already nice and slippery. Okay, this is the point where it gets stuck on me, and now it's, well, I mean, it doesn't hurt. But I do feel like it's like being stretched. So what I'm going to do is just leave it alone for a while. Well, leave it alone. I'm going to leave the pin in like this for a while. Obviously, I'm going to hold it a little bit because it's heavy. And otherwise it would just drag itself back out. So yeah, and what I always do is I just wait for like 15 minutes or so. Just watch a YouTube video. Go, I don't know, vacuum clean your house with your hands against your ear. I don't know. Just go do something in the meantime and wait until it doesn't feel as tight anymore, and then you can try to shove it through a little bit further. This is my preferred method, so I'll see you when that time comes. And we're back. I have no idea how much time passed. I just made a whole list of all the stuff I used on my face today for a makeup tutorial. So that was probably like 10-15 minutes. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you at this point, for a start, I pushed it through a little bit further every now and then, so if I get to go of it now, it almost keeps hanging onto the right direction. Once you pass the halfway point, it's easier, because then you can just let go of it, and it will just, you know, hold itself in the right position. Laws of nature and all. What I wanted to mention though, is that you can use a Q-tip, or your fingers if you don't have long acrylic claws, to apply some more of whatever, like oil of whatever you're using, in between the stretching, just because, especially things like coconut oil, your skin will soak it up too, so eventually you're not going to have a lot of stuff left anymore if you don't replenish it every now and then. And we're a few days ahead actually. I tried until like, well, I waited until like the end of the afternoon basically until I went to bed, so basically late at night actually. And 10mm still wouldn't go through, so I realized, okay, my ears do not want to stretch to 10mm immediately. I will have to go to 9mm first. However, on my favorite piercing website, the 9mm cheap tunnels were still sold out. And I didn't want to buy more expensive ones. So what I did instead is you use a different method. These are actually 7mm tunnels. But I put medical tape around them to make them 9mm. I just measured it with a the thingy, yeah, measuring thingy. A ruler, it's called a ruler. I forget the most weird words sometimes. Anyway, it almost fits in the 10mm tunnels that I already have. So this is probably 9mm about. So yeah, it's about half this taper. I am just going to use a 10mm taper. So that's basically the plan. I'm just going to do it this way. And also, by the way, I haven't said that before, but it is actually an official way of stretching as well by just adding tape around a plug or tunnel and then stretching it that way just by adding a layer of tape every few weeks. You know, it looks less pretty because you can see there's tape around it, but it is a method. And if you don't have a tunnel in the right size, then it also works. I do advise to use medical tape, however. Just because if you use something like Scotch tape, the glue in that can actually irritate the inside of your piercing, which would not be good. And also I don't actually think it would stay intact in like the whole slightly moist sort of skin texture. I don't know. Anyway, medical tape is I think a safer way to go, so that's what we're going to do today. Okay, the previously tortured ear already has it in there. I thought I'd just do that one first. And it does feel a bit tight because I'm pretty sure I almost tore it the first time around because I'm a bit of a brute. Anyway, I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And just pull it out. Yuck. I'm always amazed by how gross it gets just from like skin residue and all. And well, anyone with tunnels knows that. Like you gotta clean your stuff every week or so, once it's healed at least. I like to take mine out at least once per week to just clean them because it's disgusting and gross. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just going to dip my stretcher taper thing in the coconut oil. And just carefully put it through and not too far. I'm not going further than it wants to go. I'm not putting it in as far as that it hurts because I don't want it to hurt. Again, that's why I stopped with like my first attempt of going instantly to 10mm. You don't want it to hurt and you don't want it to like push too far and accidentally damage something because that would not be good. So I'm just keeping it here for a moment because of course I can't shove it up the other side of this thing and just shove it through like that because there would still be a gap. So I'm just holding it in place for a little bit until I feel confident that I can hopefully get this thing in. And like I said, the difficulty is you never know for sure what size it really is, just because it's tape. Okay, I'm just gonna try if I can shove it in there. It's already slippery from the coconut oil at this point anyway. So I'm just holding it against there, pressing, and voila! It slid in. So now we're at 9mm, I think. This one stings a little because it's, you know, I tortured it like a week ago. Oops. So yeah, that's what happens. Like, and if you do get that it gets like crusty and all, just give it like a week or two to heal before you do another attempt at stretching, because you don't want to over irritate it, because it hurts and also it's just not good for your ears. Anyway, at this point I feel tight, but it does work. If you would look, like if you would stand directly behind me and then look over my shoulder at the back of my ear, you would see the tape sticking out, but even outside of the current times of that not being a polite thing to do, standing it close to someone, people don't usually do that anyway. And other than that, you just see a little bit of a black circle around it, but it doesn't look weird in any way. Okay, a little bit closer, because I just thought I'd show you the, well, what it looks like a little bit better. As you can see, it just has like, wait, if I twist my ear around, maybe you can tell. Probably not. Oh yeah, you can. You can see the black tape, but again, no one is going to stand behind you to look this way behind your ear, usually. So yeah, from the front it just looks like a silver tunnel with a little bit of a black circle around it, which looks perfectly fine. Like, it doesn't look odd, it doesn't look weird, it just looks like it looks like a tunnel, and yeah. So yeah, I think this method works fine for me for now. It's actually a lot cheaper too than buying new tunnels all the time. But anyway, point is, I think I'm just going to leave this in again for 4 weeks from this point onwards. And then try to go on to the actual 10mm goal. So yeah, I'll see you again in, for me, 4 weeks and for you a couple of seconds. Now, it's like 4 weeks after the last time you saw me. Approximately half a second ago for you. Ow. Anyway, I just filmed a makeup tutorial, that's why I was already wearing earrings. But now I feel like, you know, with the tape, they're already, like, sometimes they fall out and all. And like if I pull them, there's already a gap visible. So I think I can just get the 1mm, the 10mm through now. So I have my big jar of coconut oil here that's like completely liquid in this kind of weather. So I'm just going to very carefully open it so I don't have a huge oil spill on my carpet next. And then we're gonna hopefully stretch to the 10mm, finally. Okay, this one just slid right in. I'm expecting no difficulties with the other ear either, actually. So I just dipped it into the jar of coconut oil, which luckily didn't cause an oil spill. And it just slides through. Great, that's all I needed to know. Now I'm just going to use it as an insertion pin. So basically I'm just putting the jewelry over top of the stretching pin and just pushing it through. It's always an easier angle on my other ear for some reason. Probably because I'm right-handed. And it's in. Like, this is almost anticlimactic. It just went so easy. I just have to get the O-ring on still. And then I'm finally at my desired size of 10mm. Like, I should have just been patient in the first place. Instead of trying to immediately go to 10mm from like 7mm, 8mm, yeah. If I'd just been patient, it would have all been a lot easier, because this is just how easy it should be. I made my life a whole lot more difficult by trying to be hasty. I'm just going to... Why do I have a random... Oh wait, that's the jar that the jewelry was in. This is to close the coconut oil. Anyway, so yeah, we're stretched. So, we're done. They're both in. I'm just going to put in some more earrings, because I like these earrings and they fit with my entire vibe today. Anyway, but this is like the reason why I like this size, why I wanted this size. Like, it's... Just close it, okay. It's big enough that it really, for me personally, like, this is just my personal preference, of course. Blah. But it's big enough that it really looks like a stretch, like it's a hole, it's big, you can see through it. But it's still tiny enough that I personally still like the look of earrings through it. Which was my goal, so I'm pleased. I think I'm gonna stick to this size. And yeah, this is basically it. We're done. Okay, so yeah, this is finally the end of this video. It's going to be an adventure for me to edit this video, because I don't think even with a vlog I've ever done like this many little clips over this much time. Anyway, but yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please click the like button. It would really help me out. If you have any questions about stretching, you can always ask me. And if you want to see more videos of me, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel. I actually mostly do makeup tutorials, but I'll definitely do more piercing videos in the future as well. I'll probably do a like stretching jewelry collection video at some point in time, once I have enough to actually call it a collection. But yeah, for now, that was it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!